call my savings plan, which I call reserved instance 2.0. All right. So hopefully everyone is clear. Last one, fourth one is called spot instances. Let's say, we visit a place, right? Let's say I am going to Amsterdam. Just give me an example. I go to Amsterdam and I have to use a car there. Now, my friend lives there, and I can say, hey, if you are not using a car, can you give your car to me? If she is not using the car, she would be happy to give that car to me. And in that case, I have to take care of only of the fuel. I have to obviously take care of that it is clean and all the stuff, but I am not paying too much money on leasing, or I am not making a long-term commitment. I am using my friend's car for my usage. But there is a limit, there is a catch. She says that, hey Ashish, I'm not using my car as of now, but sometime my office calls me, or maybe I have to do a school run, get my kids from that particular place, and that's why I would call you 2 hours before. So if I call you 2 hours before, please make sure that you return car to me so that I can go and do my business. Hope you're getting the point. So yes, I can use the car as long as she doesn't need it, and if she needs it, she would give me a call, and I should be able to return the car, because that's what a commitment I'm making. Same thing is in spot instances. Let me explain that in now technical terms. In Amazon data centers, let's say I am talking about London. So in London, there are possibility that we have 50,000 servers running. Just give an example to you. Let's say we have 50,000 servers running. I don't expect that all 50,000 will be always being consumed every time. So maybe out of that, 35,000 servers are currently being consumed and our customers are using that, which means we still have 15,000 server capacity available for someone to use. These servers are still running in our environment, consuming power, consuming electricity, and basically not generating any revenue. So if these 35,000 servers were given to the customer, let's say on $2 per hour price, we may say, let me give these 15,000 server on a zero point 0.1 per hour, $1 per hour price. I am giving you a discount. So if you want to use these servers, you are welcome to use them. They will be categorized as spot instances, and they are basically based on supply and demand pricing. So if we have lot of service available, lot of free resources available, cost would be cheaper. But if the service is highly utilized, cost may go up if there is a high utilization of those services, but still very cost friendly for workload which are having no problem in running in this fashion. So that is called my spot instances, and I'll show you some example that how customer use these spot instances. So spot instance is what? Spot instance is basically unused capacity of AWS. And that capacity can be given to you. But remember my notice of getting the car back in 2 hours, same thing here. But here, the notice which is given to you is for 2 minutes. So supply and demand based pricing, if Amazon need those instances back, it would send a notice to that instance and, hey instance, I am going to pull you back in 2 minute time. So the 2 minute notice can be given to instance. If Amazon needs that capacity back, they would claim back that capacity. Now what I should do in that 2 minute? First thing, probably I won't be running most critical application on spot, because it may be taken back from me, right? What I would also do, that I would be probably hosting my data on some other location, maybe a database, maybe a S3 bucket, maybe a DynamoDB table. It could be anywhere, but I probably won't keep my data within instance, because my instance may get terminated after a 2 minute notice, and that's why it's better to keep data somewhere else. So if this instance gets terminated, no problem at all. Later I can launch another instance, and that can pick up data from here and can start processing that data. So that is called my spot instance, supply and demand based pricing. But there is a 2 minute notice which may be given to you, and you may have that instance claimed back. So don't put your highly critical applications there, because it is not designed for it. So what you can do, There are multiple ways to use spot instances. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are requiring 80 instances. Just give an example. You can say, let me take 20 of these instances from on demand, or let me take them from reserved instances, and remaining 60 I would be taking from spot. What happens now? These 20 would never be taken back because I am paying full money for that, or I have reserved it. So they will never get back, be taken from me. 60 may be taken back from me, but it won't affect my application because still I have 20 running permanently. Same way, like people or companies hire temporary employees, isn't it? Right? Like if I talk about Amazon, when there is a Prime Day or there is a Christmas sale, what we need lot of people in our warehouses. We need lot of drivers who could deliver the packages from Amazon because there is a huge demand. But we can't hire all these people for 24 by 7 and 12 hours, 12 months in a year. So what we do, we hire some temporary worker that time. They help us with 2 3 weeks of whatever cycles we have, and then they go to their day job, and we still have some permanent employees who will be always in warehouse. And when demand grows, we hire temporary workers. And exact same thing you can do with spot instances. All right, hopefully everyone is going to get the idea. Let me explain a little bit more on the console so that you can relate to the stuff which I'm talking about. So we give you a spot instance advisor from which you can get all the information, like what kind of discount, what is the predictability of downtime. That information is available. Let me show that too. So I'll go back to my service EC2, and there I would be talking about spot instances. So spot has very specific use cases. If you could smartly use your EC2 spot instances, you would be saving huge money. There is at least 70% discount which you are getting on that. Let's go ahead and see that. So this is my EC2, and here are my spot request. See this example here. So I go to my spot request and we'll see what my spot requests are or what I can get from there. Let's go ahead and check the spot request. It would show me the price difference, and it would show me what is my current availability in that particular region. So this is my spot request. I have here saving summary, and we maintain a pricing history of old 3 months. So let's go to pricing history here. Now, if you see, there is a graph we are maintaining. So I can say, no, I am looking for a particular instance type. Which instance type? See, I am into Ireland region, and I am selecting a particular instance type here to get its historical information about the service pricing. So let me go ahead and select a instance here, which is, let's say, C5 dot extra large or something. So let's say C5.18 extra large. Okay, this is my instance. Let's see pricing difference. So see these three availability zone, 1A, 1B, 1C. I am checking for date range 1 week. Let me make it 3 months. So we maintain 3 months of data. And you can see huge graph here. What would be the difference between the pricing here? See this. See this. What you are seeing here? You are seeing C5 dot extra large, and this is what you would be paying if you are utilizing these services, right? So $1.335 C5.18 extra large, C3 dot extra large. Let me remove this one so that we see only one. So that is my C5 dot extra large, which is into EU West 1, which I would be paying for. So this is the money I would be paying, and how much saving I would be getting because of that. Around 60% saving I would be getting. Let me bring it up again. Probably I closed it by mistake. So let me bring it up again. See this. So let's say if it is C3 dot extra large, if I pay on demand, I would be paying 0.12 on demand price. But if I use it on spot, I would be paying 0.0347, and as you can see, it's 70%, 74% discount, and it is for 1 week. I can push this data and identify for 3 weeks, 3 months. So that would give me that, hey, what benefit I may get. And if you see, there are some variation here in the graph. Why? Supply and demand. Now, if you see, even in 1A, 1B, and 1C, pricing are little different. See this. This one is charging you 0.344. These are charging you 0.0312 and 312. So I would say, I see there are more instance or capacity available in 1A, 1B, and 1C. There are little less capacity available into 1A as of now. So if I have to be little safe, I would probably go for 1B and 1C and run my application from there. So that would be my way of looking at the things. So that is what is called a spot instance. And customers are very smart. Customer use spot instances in very creative way. Let me show you one of the use cases from Illumina. It's a company who is into genome processing, and they use instances for running their workload. Let me quickly walk you through what their workload is and what they do. So this company is doing, and I will send you all these links, so don't worry. This company is doing lot of genome sequencing and processing, and for that they require lot of capacity. So what they do, they say that, hey customers, we would be offering you two type of services. Select what feels best for you and what you want to use it for. Let me give an example for that. So let's see one example here. They offer two type of services. Just an example, read more in detail there. So let's say one is your standard service, and there is a express service. Standard service says that once you submit your sample, maybe you would get your result into 14 days and you would be paying this much money for that. Express service says when you submit your sample, you would get your results into 2 days and you would be paying more money because you are looking for performance, which is you are looking for faster turnaround time. Now, what they do, they have two pool of instances. One pool of instance or group of instance is made up from Spot. Another pool which is made up of on-demand or reserved instances. Obviously, in Spot instances, they would be paying less money. In Spot instance, on-demand instances, they would be paying more money. So as soon as a workload is submitted, so let's say this is a workload submitted. Now, workload starts, maybe 10% of that workload was finished by one instance, then it got claimed back. So they store that information somewhere. Afterward, they launch another instance automatically, which would start again. And maybe this time, this instance was able to pick up the workload and finished up to 40%. That instance also got terminated. Let's have another instance running that may then pick up the workload and maybe finish it up to maybe 65%, and so on. So what is happening, as they are getting charged less because of spot instances, they are able to transfer that benefit to their customer. So if they are not time bound, they can wait for 14 days, go ahead and use spot instances for that type of workload. But if a customer says, no, I want my processing to be done faster, that time they push their workload onto on-demand and reserved instances, no termination, continuously running off the workload, and they get their result much faster. So that is one of the use cases. You can smartly design your application. One more word we commonly see people talking about whenever they discuss spot instances, that use this for stateless application. Why stateless? Because if you are storing something locally, that instance may get terminated. So best would be to store it somewhere, store your state information somewhere outside. So if this one was going to be um, changed, then that time this information is stored here. This instance gets terminated. This can pick up, update it again. If this get terminated, this can pick up and store it again and start it again. So this is good when you have a stateless application running into your environment. All right. So hopefully everyone is now clear a little bit more on what is actually happening and what are my EC2 instance options. All right. Obviously, I can't cover everything, but hopefully you got a better idea on it. And if you have any other follow-up questions, feel free. We would be sending some resources and you can take help of those resources and more knowledge to understand how all other EC2 options are available.